Hare Krishna, welcome everyone. Let's begin with the Mangalacharan prayers. Om Ajnanatimiraandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tashmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manovishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Padantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscham Shri Rupam Shagrajatam Shahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Shadvaitam Shavadhutam Parijana Shahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Shahagana Lalitam Shri Vishakhan Vitamscha Namam Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarinim वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः नमो महावदन्याय कृष्णप्रेमप्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्णचैतन्य नाम्ने गौरत्विषे नमः पञ्चतत्त्वात्मकं कृष्णं भक्तरूपस्वरूपकं भक्तावतारं भक्ताख्यं नमामि भक्तशक्तिकम् हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधो दीनबंधो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरंगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये नीलाचल निवासाय नित्याय परमात्मने बलभद्र सुभद्राभ्यं जगन्नाथाय ते नमः जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा welcome everyone. So in our Sanskrit study we have covered up to the syllable analysis. Given a verse we have learned how to compute the number of syllables, and based on that we will learn the different meters, how to chant the verse. So today we'll do a little recap or practice on this breaking of the syllables, identifying what syllables we have in a verse, and based on that we will try to see that whether we are able to break those syllables or not. Okay, so let's go through this Mukunda Mala Stotra, which is a collection of different meters of verses with different number of syllables, and we will also see some verses from Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam. So we can find them in Vedas. Yeah. Okay. So now we will only break down the verse and identify the number of syllables in each line. Okay. And then based on that, we will learn different meters or tunes. And we have to try to remember those tunes. I will give you a Google Drive which have multiple tunes for each number of syllables. So if you forget some tune, you can look into that. Okay, let's start with this first verse of Mukunda Mala Stotra. So the first step is you have to try to pronounce each and every word separately because it is Sanskrit. So sometimes we may not be able to articulate or pronounce every word clearly. So first go through the verse and try to pronounce each of these words carefully. So Sri Vallaveti Varadeti Daya Pareti. So when we are reading for the first time, we should not try to sing it melodiously. So everything together we cannot do. So we have to break down the task. So first step is that we have to clearly chant each and every word. Sri Vallaveti Varadeti Daya Pareti. Bhakta Priyeti Bhabalunthana Kovideti. Natheti Nagashayaneti Jagannivasheti Alapinam Pratidinam Kurumam Mukunda. Okay. So this is the verse. Now we will try to count the number of syllables in each of the line. So you can try doing that and send me what number of syllables you are able to count personally in the chat. In the chat, you will there will be option to personally send me the message, not with everyone. Okay, so try to analyze the first line and see how many syllables are there and send me in the chat. Yes, many of you have given the correct answer. It is 14 syllable. Okay, how 14? Shri Ballaveti Varadeti Daya Pareti. So if you break it down, Shri Val La Ve Ti Va Ra De Ti Da Ya Pa Re Ti. So these are 14 syllables. What about the next line? Bhakta Pri Ye Ti Bha Fa Lun Tha Na Ko Vi De Ti. So again we have 14 syllable. Bhakta Priyeti Bhava Lunthana Ko Videti. Third one, same. Na The Ti Na Ga Sha Ya Ne Ti Ja Gan Ni Va Se Ti. So if you do Niva Se Ti, then it becomes 15 if you count properly in the third line. Natheti Nagasayaneti Jagan Nivasheti, it becomes 15 syllable. But this is a 14 syllable verse because most of the lines are 14 syllable. So what you have to do, that you only chant up to Nivase, and this ty you have to take with the next line. So the next line is not Alapinam Pratidinam Kurumam Mukunda, but it is Tyalapinam Pratidinam Kurumam Mukunda. So TYA. So the pronunciation will be Tyalapinam Pratidinam Kurumam Mukunda. So now because it is a 14 syllable verse, we have a meter like this. Shri Vallaveti Varadeti Daya Pareti La 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 la. So this is the meter for 14 syllable. There are multiple meters, but this is one of them. Try to remember, or you can even record it. I will give you a Google Drive with the recorded meters, so don't worry about that. So this is 14 syllable. How should we chant? Shri Vallaveti Varadeti Daya Pareti Bhakta Priyeti Bhavalunthana Kovideti Natheti Nagasayaneti Jagannivase Tyalapinam Pratidinam Kurumam Mukunda. Okay. So to learn this meter, I would like you to chant with me. I will chant one line and then you should repeat that line. Okay. So unmute yourself and repeat after me. Okay. Shri Vallaveti Varadeti Daya Pareti. Very good. Bhakta Priyeti Bhavalunthana Kovideti. नाथेति नागशयनेति जगन्निवासे
नाथेति
नाथेति
नागशयनेति
नगशयनेति
जगन्निवासे
जगन्निवासेति
आलापिनं प्रतिदिनं कुरु मं मुकुन्द
आलापिनं
आलापनं
कुरुमं
प्रतिदिनं कुर्मं मुकुन्द.
कुर्मं मुकुन्द.
Okay, so here one observation is this is a 14 syllable verse. So when we chant, we have to have a break point. What is the break point? Shri Vallaveti Varade. Here we are taking a break. Tidaya Pareti Bhakta Priyeti Bhabalun Thanako Videti Natheti Nagasayane Tijagannivase Tyalapinam Pratidinam Kurumam Mukunda. So the pause is coming at what syllable? Shri Vallaveti Vara De. 8. So because it is a 14 syllable verse, the pause is coming at 8 syllable. So the verse will be broken down in 8 plus 6. Okay. So 8 plus 6. Whenever you have a 14 syllable verse, we should have a breakdown of 8 plus 6. So we will have all these things written down in proper format. We are not going over this Mukunda Mala Stotram, but we will gradually come to how to chant 8 syllable and like 11 syllable verse, 12 syllable verse, 14 syllable verse, like that. So for now, just remember, or you can just take a quick note. Whenever you have 14 syllable verse, the break point will be 8 plus 6. Not necessarily that after 8 syllable the word is ending. For example, in the last line, Tyalapinam Pratidinam is 8 syllable. Tyalapinam Pratidinam. 8 syllable is ending in a proper word, dinam. Okay, but sometimes it may be in between the word. You have to take a pause. Like Bhakta Priyeti Bhabalun, the word is Lunthana. You cannot do, let me just complete the word and let me chant Bhakta Priyeti Bhabalunthana. Ko Videti. No, not like that. Then the meter is broken. If you do not take pause in proper place, the meter is broken. So Bhakta Priyeti Bhavalun Thanako Videti. Now this taking pause, initially when you are learning to chant this verse and different meters, you take a big pause. And in general, you chant the verse very slowly. And whenever there is a pausing point, you take a big pause. Shri Vallaveti Varade. Complete pause. Tidaya Pareti Bhakta Priyeti Bhabalun Thanako Videti Natheti Nagasayane Tijagannivase Tyalapinam Pratidinam Kurumam Mukunda. When you are expert in chanting the verse, you chant the verse very fast. And during the pausing point, you take a little break. That is when you reach the expert stage. For example, Shri Vallaveti Varadeti Daya Pareti Bhakta Priyeti Bhavalunthana Videti. So you are not actually taking the pause. You are elongating little bit. Bhakta Priyeti Bhavalunthana Videti Natheti Nagasayaneti Jagannivase Tyalapinam Pratidinam Kurumam Mukunda. Like that. Okay. So if you are chanting fast, you just elongate the pausing point. If you're chanting slow, then take a complete break just for learning the pausing point. Otherwise, you will not learn the pausing point. So this is the first verse, 14 syllable. There are many other verses. This is the next verse. So let us first remember always this algorithm. Pronounce the verse correctly. Try to pronounce each and every word of the verse correctly first. That is the first step. Then count the number of syllables. Then based on your knowledge, you will select a meter or a tune. We will come to that. you don't have the knowledge base now that for what number of syllables which meter to pick. So that knowledge will be transferred, don't worry. So the first step is try to pronounce it correctly. Jayatu, Jayatu, Devo, Devaki, Nandano, Yam. Jayatu, Jayatu, Krishno, Vrishni, Vamsa, Pradeepaha. Jayatu, Jayatu, Megha, Shamala, Komalango. Jayatu, Jayatu, Prithvi, Bhar, Naso, Mukundaha. So this is the pronunciation of the verse. Now let's count the number of syllables. Try to count the number of syllables in the first line and send me in the chat. Okay. Count the number of syllables and send me in the chat. Very good. So this is 15 syllable. How? Jayatu, Jayatu, Devo, 8 up to now. Then Devaki, 12. Nandano. Okay, so Jayatu, Jayatu, Devo, Devaki, Nandano, Yam. 15 syllable. Jayatu, Jayatu, 6. Devo, 8. Devaki, 11. Nandano, 14. And then Yam is 15. So 15 syllable. Similarly, you will find 15 in all the line. Jayatu, Jayatu, Krishno, Vrishni, Vamsha, Pradeepa. Jayatu, Jayatu, Megha, Shamala, Komalango. Jayatu, Jayatu, Prithvi, Bharanasho, Mukunda. So 15 syllable. Now how to chant 15 syllable? Is there a questions? No. Okay. Okay, so how to chant the 15 syllable? 15 syllable we chant by Jayatu, Jayatu, Devo, Devaki, Nandano, Yam. Jayatu, Jayatu, Krishno, Vrishni, Vamsha, Pradeepam. Jayatu, Jayatu, Megha, Shamala, Komalango. Jayatu, Jayatu, Prithvi, Bharanasho, Mukundam. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. So this is the tune for 15 syllable. Okay. Now let's chant together. I will chant one line and then you can repeat after me to learn this tune. And you have to practice in home, chanting similar verses. Then you will capture the tune. Jayatu, Jayatu, Devo, Devaki, Nandano, Yam.
Jayatu, Jayatu, Devo, Devaki Nandanoyam.
Jayatu, Jayatu, Krishno, Vrishni, Vamsha, Pradeepa.
Jayatu, Jayatu, Krishna, Vishnivangsha Pradeepa.
Jayatu, Jayatu, Megha, Shamala, Komalango.
Jayatu, Jayatu, Shamala, Komalango.
Jayatu, Jayatu, Prithvi, Bharanasho, Mukunda.
जयतु
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 Very good. So here also we have to take a note of the break point. So keep a note in your notebook, write it down. So it is 15 syllable. Where is the break point? Jayatu Jayatu Devo. This is the break point. Devaki Nandanoyam. Jayatu Jayatu Krishna. Vrishnivansha Pradipam. Jayatu Jayatu Megha. Shamala Komalango. Jayatu Jayatu Prithvi. Bharanasho Mukunda. So Devo, Krishna, Megha, Prithvi. Here we are stopping. So how many syllables? Jayatu Debo. 8. So what will be the rest of syllables? Total 15 syllable. After 8 syllable we are pausing. So 8 plus 7 will be the breakup of the verse. So in 14 syllable the breakup was 8 plus 6. In 15 syllable the breakup is 8 plus 7. Okay, and the tune is like this. And whenever there is a break point, you elongate that or you take a pause. Jayatu Jayatu Devo Devaki Nandanoyam. Jayatu Jayatu Krishna Vrishnivansha Pradipam. Jayatu Jayatu Megha Shamala Komalango. Jayatu Jayatu Prithvi Bharanasho Mukunda. Okay. So 14 and 15 syllable we have seen. Now let's see what is the next number of syllables in verse number 3. So in verse number 3, the verse is Mukunda Murdna Pranipatya Yache Bhavantam Ekantam Yantamartham Avismritistvacharanarvinde Bhabe Bhabe Mestu Bhavat Prasadat. So Mukunda Murdna. Okay. Mukunda Murdna 5. Pranipatya 9. Yache 11. Next Bhavantam 3. Ekantam another 3. Iyantam again 3. Then Artham 2. So again 11. So this is the 11 syllable verse. Avismritistvaccharanarvinde bhave bhave mestu bhavat prasadat. 11 syllable. Okay. So for 11 syllable, you have to remember the Mangal Arati. Okay. Samsara Davanal. So what is the tune? Samsara Davanal also has 11 syllables. Samsara Davanala Lida Loka. Tranaya Karunya Ghana Ghanatvam. So Samsara Daba Nalalida Lokam. So here also we see a breakpoint. Samsara Dava Nalalida Loka. 5 plus 6. So when you have 11, you have to break it down into 5 plus 6. So Samsara Davanal is one example. Another example is Loka Bhiramam Ranarangadhiram Rajivanetram. Okay, so like this verse is glorifying Ramachandra. And this also has 11 syllables. So whenever we have 11 syllable, the tune is like la 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 la. So this is oversimplification. Actually, in 11 syllables, there are different meters, and this is one of the meters. So not all 11 syllable meters will be very much fitting into this tune. So therefore, we will provide you multiple tunes for 11 syllable. One of them will fit. But actually, if you want to know that for which verse, which tune should I use, then you need the complete knowledge of Chanda Shastra. That is out of scope of this course. Sometime we can take. So for this, For 11, for one particular number of syllables, we'll give you multiple tunes, and one of them will surely fit any verse. Okay, so let's try to chant this verse. Mukunda murdna pranipatya yache bhavantamekantamiyantamartham avishmitistva charanarvinde bhave bhave mestu bhavat prasadat. So it fits this particular verse. So 11 syllable means 5 plus 6 breakage. Now let's chant in a call and response way. You can unmute yourself. Yeah. Mukunda mudna pranipatya yache bhavantamekantayantamartham avishmritistva charanarvinde
Avismriti
bhave bhave mestu bhavat prasadat. Okay. Now we have discussed 11 syllable, 14 syllable, and 15 syllable. So let us also cover 8 and 12 syllable. So 8 syllable is very common. Throughout Bhagavad Gita, we see 8 syllable verses. So let's take Bhagavad Gita 1.1. This is 8 syllable verse. Dhritarashtra Uvacha Dharma Kshetre Kurukshetre Samaveta Yutsavaha Mamaka Pandavascheva Kim Akurvata Sanjaya. Let us quickly do the counting of syllables. Dharma Kshetre Kurukshetre. First line, 8 syllables. Samaveta 4. Yuyutsava, another 4. Third line, Mamaka 3. Pandavas 3. Chaiba, 8 syllable. Kim Akurvata Sanjaya, 8 syllable. So how do we chant 8 syllable verses? Many of you know there are many different tunes. One of them is Dharma Kshetre Kurukshetre Samaveta Yuyutsava Mamaka Pandavaschaiva Kimakurvata Sanjaya. La 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 la, like this. Okay. There are many other variations also you can make. We will provide you with all of them. For example, Dharma Kshetra Kurukshetre Shamaveta Yuyutsava Mamaka Pandavaschaiva Kimakurvata Sanjaya. This is one of the variations. There are many possible variations. But for now, you can keep one melody for every syllable to make things simpler. Then again, if you learn multiple melodies, then you can assign one verse. So one melody you should remember by one verse. We'll also give you some staple verses which you can use to remember those particular melodies. And those verses are also very important. So these things are coming up. Today I'm just giving you a synopsis of how different meters and different syllables look like, how to count the number of syllables, and how to chant these verses properly. So this is very simple. Just repeat after me. You can unmute yourself. Yeah. Dhritarashtra Uvacha Dharma Kshetre Kurukshetre
Dhritarashtra Uvacha Dharmakshetre Kurukshetre
Samaveta Yujutsava
Yutsava
Mamaka Pandavaschaiva
मामुका पाण्डवाश्चैव
पाण्डवाश्चैव
किमकुर्वत सञ्जय
किं
कुर्वत
कुर्वतो
सञ्जय
Yeah. So for 8 syllable, how we are chanting? Dharma kshetre kurukshetre. So there is a little pause after 4, but you can also chant together. Dharma kshetre kurukshetre. No stop we can say, or there is a little stop after 4. Both are fine. So you can just write no stop. No like break points. You can just continuously chant. Because it is a smaller syllable, small number of syllables. If you remember in 14 and 15 syllable, after 8 syllable we took a pause. 8 plus 6, 8 plus 7. And because this is 8 syllables in one line, we'll chant together. So 8 syllables without any break. 11 syllables, 5 plus 6. 14 syllables, 8 plus 6. 15 syllable, 8 plus 7. Okay. Now let's chant a verse from Srimad Bhagavatam, which is 12 syllable. Yeah. So let's count the number of syllables. This is from Kunti Stuti. Yatha Rishikesha Khalena Devaki. Yatha Rishikesha Khalena Devaki. Kamshena Ruddha Tichiram Shucharpitam. Vimochitaham cha Shahatmaja Bibho. Tayaiva Nathena Muhur Vipad Ganath. Count the number of syllables. Yatha Rishikesha. Yatha Rishikesha. 6. Khalena. 9. Devaki. 12. Kamshena. 3. Ruddha. 5. Tichiram. 8. Shucharpita. 8 plus 4. 12. Bimochitaham cha sahat majabivo. Tvayaiva nathena muhur vipadganath. So 12 syllable. Okay. Now 11 syllable. How did we chant? 12 syllable and 11 syllable are very similar. So for 11 syllable, keep a staple verse. Samsara dava nalalida loka. How did we chant? Samsara dava. Samsara dava. 5. Nalalida loka. 6. So now what we'll do here. So for 11 syllable, the melody was la 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 la, like that. But in 12 syllable, just add one syllable at the end. So Yatha Rishikesha Khalena Devaki. So Deva and then ki is being added at the end. La 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 la. For 11 syllable, la 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 la. For 12 syllable, la 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 la. Did you get that? Just add one syllable at the end. So it is 5 plus 7. Yatha Rishikesha Khalena Devaki. Kamshena Ruddha Tichiram Shucharpita Vimochitahan Chasahatmaja Vibho Tvayaiva Nathe Namuhur Vipanganath, like that. So it is 5 plus 7. Whenever you have a 12 syllable verse, 5 plus 7. There are other melodies also in 12 syllable. For example, there is a very famous verse, Damodarastakam, and that is also 12 syllable. This is one kind of 12 syllable, that is another kind of 12 syllable. They are different meters. So, Namameshwaram Shachidananda Rupam. This is also 12 syllable. So, you have to learn multiple meters of 12 syllable. But for this verse, we can chant like 11 syllable only, just add one syllable at the end. Yatha Rishikesh Khalena Devaki Kamshena Ruddha Tichiram Shucharpitam Vimochitaham Chasahatmaja Vibho Tvayaiva Nathena Muhor Vipandganat. So there are different multiple tunes available. Like for 11 syllable also, one tune is Loka Viramam Ranaranga Dhiram La 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 la. And if you just extend that to 12 syllable, then la 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 la. Yatha Rishikesh Khalena Devaki. But a little back, we just chanted another melody for 11 syllable. Like you can chant the Samsara Davanal, which is 11 syllable, in Loka Viramam way. Samsara Davanal Lida Loka. Or you can just add some gymnastics. Samsara Davanal Lida Loka. That is also fine. Similarly, you can make variations in 12. Similar, like the way you are making variations in 11, similarly, you can just make variations in 12 because 11 and 12 is just adding one syllable at the end. Okay, so remember one of them. So for this 12 syllable verse, you can just remember this. Yatha Rishikesh Khalena Devaki Kamshena Ruddha Tichiram Shucharpitam Bhimojitahan Chasahatmaja Bibho Tvayaiva Nathena Muhur Bipadganat. Okay, so let's chant this together. You can repeat after me. Unmute yourself and repeat after me. Yatha Rishikesh Khalena Devaki
Jatha Rishikesh Khalena Devaki
Kamshena Ruddha Tichiram Shucharpita
Kamshena Ruddha Tirucha Shucharpita
Bhimochitaham Chasahatmaja Bibho
Vimochitaham Pito
Tvayaiva Nathe Namuhur Bipadganat.
Tayena Dipadgana.
Okay, so this is 12 syllable. So today we learned 8 syllable, 11 syllable, 12 syllable, 14, 15. There are some other tunes like 17 syllable, 19 and 21. If you learn all this, then you know everything. Like most of these verses, 90% of the verses you can chant, they will fall into this category, one of this category. So we can quickly get it done. Let's pick a 17 syllable verse. So this is from Venu Gita, Barha Pidam, Natavara Bapuhu. So this is a 17 syllable verse. If you count, Barha Pidam, Natavara Bapu, Karnayo Karnikaram. 10, 21, 5, you can take a note. And as a homework, you can count the number of syllables in all the different lines. This is a 17 syllable verse. If you count, you will get 17. Now, how to chant? There are multiple ways. One way is very simple, like Barha Pidam Natavara Bapu Karnayo Karnikaram Bibridvasha Kanaka Kapisham Vaijayantim Chamalam Randhran Venoradhara Shudhaya Purayan Gopa Brinde Brindaranyam Swapadaramanam Pravishad Gita Kirtihim. This is how Gauranga Darshan Prabhu chants. This is for 17 syllable. Barha Pidam Natavara Bapu Karnayo Karnikaram Vibridvasha Kanaka Kapisham Vaijayantim Chamalam Randhran Venoradhara Shudhaya Purayan Gopa Brinde Brindaranyam Swapadaramanam Pravishat Gita Kirtihi. So I'll provide you with that recording. and you have to hear multiple times to properly capture the melody. There are other ways to sing this in a more melodious way, like Barhapidam natavarabapu karnayo karnikaram bibradvasha kanakakapisham vaijayantim chamalam randhan venoradhara shudhaya purayan gopavrinde Brindaranyam Swapadaраmanam Pravishan Gita Kirti. Now, I just explained two different melodies for singing this verse. One is Baraha Pidam Natavarabapu Karnayo Karnikaram. Second is Baraha Pidam Natavarabapu Karnayo Karnikaram. Now, let me show you a caution note. If you go to Chaitanya Charitamrita Adi Leela 1.4, that is Anarpita Charim Chirad verse. This is also 17th syllable. You can count as a homework, but I am telling you this is 17th syllable verse. But you cannot chant this using this la 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 la. You cannot do. Anarpita Charim Chirat Karunaya Vatirna Kalau. You see, it is breaking. It's not fitting as Barha Pidam because although they are 17 syllables, this is a different meter called Prithvi, and that is another meter called Mandakranta. And la 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 la. This is for Mandakranta. For Prithvi, there is another tune. Anarpita charim chirat karunayavatirna kalo samarpayitumunnato jwalarasam bhakti shriyam Haripurat Sundara Dudikadamba Sandipita Shadaridaya Kandare Shuratu Vasachinandana La 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 la. This is the tune for Prithvi. And la 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 la. This is for Mandakranta. But if you chant with Gauranga Darshan Prabhu melody, you can chant both the verse. What was Gauranga Darshan Prabhu's melody for Barha Pidam? There are a lot of melodies. So it may be a little confusing in the beginning, but try to get it. The recordings are available. You can go through them multiple times. So Gauranga Darshan Prabhu's tune for this Barha Pidam is Barha Pidam Natavarabapu Karnayo Karnikaram. You can apply that here. Anarpita Charim Chirat Karunayavatirna Kalo Shamarapayitumunnato Jwalarashamsha Bhakti Shriyam Hari Purata Sundara Dutikadamba Sandipita Shadaridaya Kandare Suratu Vasachinandanam. So if you are not going to very detail in melodies, you can just chant with Gauranga Darshan Prabhu's melody, which is very simple and fits for multiple meters. But if you want to really understand what is the actual tune for each of these verse, then you have to know the different tunes and how to apply. Now, for example, I told you already that this is Prithvi and that is Mandakranta. Now, why this is Prithvi and that is Mandakranta? Then you need to know the Laghu Guru analysis of the syllables. You need to know the Gana patterns. You need to know the Lakshana of a meter. So many Chanda Shastra things which are out of the scope of the syllabus. But I just demonstrated the point that you cannot apply all the melodies of 17 syllables that you learned to all the verses of 17 syllables. But the point is, I will give you a set of melodies. One of them will surely fit. So this course is a little simplified version of the Chanda Shastra. Then if people are interested, we can do complete Chanda Shastra later on. Okay. So for now, 17 syllable, you understood. Barha Pidam Natavara Bapu. One tune. Barha Pidam Natavara Bapu Karnayo Karnikaram. Another tune. Third tune is Anarpita Charim Chirad Karunayavatirna Kalo. Okay. So these are the some tunes for 17 syllable. Don't worry, everything will come in a more systematic way. I'm just giving you a demonstration. Now let's go to 19 syllable. Yeah, for 17 syllable, what was the breakup? The breakup will be different for different meters, but suppose we are chanting Barha Pidam. Baraha Pidam Natavara Bapu. This is the break. Baraha Pidam Natavara Bapu. Karnayo Karnikaram. So at 10. Karnayo Karnikaram. So 10 plus 7 is the breakup. And write it down for 17 syllable. Baraha Pidam Natavara Bapu. 10. Karnayo Karnikaram plus 7. Now for 19 syllable, the first verse of Srimad Bhagavatam is a classic example of 19 syllable, first and second, both verses. This is 19 syllable, bigger verse you can see. You can analyze, but I am saying this is 19 syllable, you can believe. So how to chant? Now for this also there are different meters. 1 meter is Krishnot Kirtana Gana Nartana Baro, Sadgoswami Ashtakam. Krishnot Kirtana Gana Nartana Paro Premamritambo Nidhi. So this meter is also very interesting. I'm not teaching the meters, but for this I cannot just stay without sharing it. The meter name is Shardula Bikridita. Means Shardula means tiger. Tiger cub is walking. When a tiger cub walks like this, so this meter goes like Janmandyasya yatunvayaditaratas chartheshva vignaswarat, like that. Tene brahmaridaya adikavaye muhyanti yat surayam tejo varimridam yatha binimayo yatra trishargo mrisham dhamna shvena sada nirastakuhakam satyam param dhimahi. This is one of the meter. Another meter can be Janmadhyasya yatunvayaditaratas chartheshvabhignaswarat tene brahmaridaya adikavaye muhyanti yat surayam tejo varimridam yatha vinimayo yatra trishargo mrisham dhamna shvena sada nirastakuhakam Satyam Param Dhimahi. If you see, sometimes Amarendra Prabhu chants like this, 19 syllable meters. For example, the famous verse, Aradhyo Bhagavan Brajesha Tanaya Tadhama Vrindavanam Ramya Kachidupashana Brajavadhum Vargena Va Kalpitam Srimad Bhagavatam Pramanamamalam Prema Pumartho Mahan Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhur Matamidam Tatra Darona Param. Okay. Now, again, I'm saying like Gauranga Darshan Prose melody also can be applied here. That is very simple. That covers 17 syllable, 19 syllable also. For 17 syllable, just recall what was the melody. Gauranga Darshan Prabhu chants. Baraha Pidam Natavara Bapu Karnayo Karnikaram. Similar will be applied here. Janmadasya Jatun Vayaditaratas Chartheshva Vignaswarat. 2 syllables extra at the end. The melody stays same. Tene Brahmaridaya Adikavaye Muhyanti Yat Suraya Tejo Varimridam Yatha Vinimayo Yatra Trishargo Mrisha Dhamna Shvena Sada Nirasta Kuhakam Satyam Paramadhimahi. So basically Gauranga Darshan Prabhu stresses on verse memorization. You will see many of the times like he keeps posting videos on tips on verse memorization. If you go to his website, you can get a list of like recitation of different prayers. So he gave this particular melody, which is very easy for people to accept. As a beginner, you can just chant this. Without knowing the proper melody, you can just get it done. Any verses, you can just apply this melody, even for the shorter ones. Like even Samsara Davanal, 11 syllable. संसार दावानललीडलोकां त्रणाय कारुण्य घना घनात्वं प्राप्तस्य कल्याणगुणार्णवस्य वन्दे गुरो श्रीचरणारविन्दम्. Like that. This Jatha Rishikesha verse also. Jatha Rishikesha khalena devaki kamshena ruddhati chiram shucharpitam vimochita hancha sahatmaja vibho tayaiva nathena muhur vipadganat. If you see the Bhagavad Prabha series, many Bhagavatam verses comes like that, like 14 syllable, 11 syllable, 12 syllable, and Gauranga Darshan Prabhu chants in that way. For example, like the Brahma Samhita verses, they are 14 syllable verses. Chinta Mani Prakara Shadmashu Kalpa Vriksha. Let's go to Brahma Samhita. Chinta Mani, if you search. Okay. Brahma Samhita. So Brahma Samhita is a 14 syllable prayer. And here Brahma Samhita has its own melody. Chintamani Prakara Shadmashu Kalpa Vriksha Lakshávriteshu Shuravira Vipalayantam Lakshmi Sahasra Sadasham Brahmasevyamanam Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. Now you can apply multiple different meters here. Like there is a 14 syllable meter like this. Akshanvatam phalamidam na param vidama Chintamani prakarshan mashukalpa vriksha Lakshavriteshu shuravira vipalayantam Lakshmi sahasra satasham brahmasevyamanam Govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami. So I remember all these meters like different persons. Amaranda Prabhu chants like this. Akshanvatam phalamidam naparam vidamam. Gauranga Darshan Prabhu chants like this. Chintamani prakarashadmashukalpa vriksha Lakshavriteshu shuravira bhipalayantam Lakshmi sahasra satasham brahmasevyamanam Govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami. Like that. This is similar to Sanchintayed Bhagavatas Charana Ravindam, the melody for Dhyanam, third canto, where meditation on different limbs of the Supreme Lord is explained. And this is the melody of Dhyanam. There are other melodies also, like, for example, Chintamani prakarshadmashukalpa vriksha Lakshavriteshu shuravhirabhipalayantam Lakshmi sahasra satasham brahmasevyamanam Govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami. Like many verses in Prahlad prayers also you will see. Like Naivadvije paradurataya vaitaranya Tadvirya gayana mahamritamagna chitta Shoche tato bimukhache tasha indriyartha maya sukhaya varamudvahato bimudan. In 14 syllable is a very rich spectrum. You can have multiple melodies for this 14 syllable. Okay, so I will provide you multiple melodies for each of them. So we have seen for 8, 11, 12, 14, 15, 17. Yeah, for the 19 breakpoint will be 12 plus 7. Janmadasyayatonvayaditarataschaर्थेष्वभिज्ञस्वराट. So 12 plus 7. And last, I'll give a demonstration of the 21 syllable, which is there is some verses in Mukundamala Stotra like Shatruchedaika mantram, Shakalam Upanishad Vakya Sampyujya mantram, and also Bandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam in our Mangalacharan prayers. That is 14 syllable. So 14, extremely sorry, this is 21 syllable, the biggest meter. The last meter which we are going to learn is 21 syllable. And here the breakpoint is 7 plus 7 plus 7. I'll show you two different verses and then we'll stop for today. This is 21 syllable. How to chant? Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Pada Kamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha So first 7 syllables in some particular tune, next 7 syllables in a different, and then the next 7. Vandeham Shri Guru Shri 7. Now become slow. Yuta Pada Kamalam 7. Like this. Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghuna Thanvitam tam sajivam sadvaitam sabadhutam parijana sahitam Krishna chaitanya devam Shri Radha Krishna padan Sahagana lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha. So this is a proper way to chant this. But in Mangalacharan, different speakers, they have their own melodies. Some people chant like Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathan Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalitam Shri Vishakhan Vitamscha. So this is one kind of like prose way. You invent some kind of melody, but the actual melody is la 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 la. And if you see Mukundamala Stotra, verse number I guess 31. Shatruchedaikamantram Shakalamupanishad Bhakya Sampujya Mantram Shamsarocheda Mantram Shamuchita Tamasha Shanga Niryana Mantram Sarvaisharyaika Mantram Vyasana Bhujagashan Dashta Santrana Mantram Jiuhe Shri Krishna Mantram Japa Japa Shatatam Janma Safalya Mantram. Verse number 24 also. Madraksham Shina Punyan Shanamapi Bhavato Bhaktihinan Padabje Ma Shausham Shavyavandham Tava Charitamapashanyadakhyan Jatam Masmarsham Madhavatvam Api Bhuvanapate Chetashapanuvanan Ma Bhuvam Tatsvapariya Vyatikara Rahito Janma Janmantarepi. So this is how 21 syllable is 7 plus 7 plus 7. Okay. So these breakpoints are important. So today we have learned the breakpoints. You can just quickly take a note. And in the next class, we will more systematically go through each of them. And just write the breakpoints so that it is easy to remember. Okay. So for 8 syllable, no break. For 11 syllable, 5 plus 6. For 12 syllable, oh. So for 12 syllable, five plus 7. For 14, it is 8 plus 6. For 15 syllable, 8 plus 7. For 17, we have 10 plus 7. 19. 12 plus 7. And 21. 7 plus 7 plus 7. Because it is a longer verse, we have 2 breakpoints. Okay, so just take a note and you can go through this class again to note down the meters or record yourself. I'll give you a Google Drive with all the recordings of different tunes for each of these syllables. And I can keep adding. If I remember some other melody, I will keep adding to that drive. So you will get newer melodies for these verses. Okay, so we'll stop here today. Thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Srila Jiva Goswami ki jai. Nitai Gaur Premanande, Hari Hari Bol. So if you have questions, you can ask me in WhatsApp. I'll get back to you. Thank you. Hare Krishna.